It's September 15th and we're in Chicago, and I'm sitting with John Iwata from IBM, and I want to thank you for spending some time with us this afternoon. I know you've been busy with the Page Society Conference. Why don't we get started, and we'll talk about your early career. You graduated from San Jose State with a communications degree, and could you just talk about your early career and how everything progressed to get you to where you are today?
Yeah. Well, let's see. I was 14 when Watergate happened, and like generations of young idealistic people, when we found out about Watergate through the work of, among others, Woodward and Bernstein, who were romanticized as uncoverers of truth. So when you're 14, trying to figure out what you want to do, 14, 15, 16, and I was interested in liberal arts, writing and whatnot, I thought, this is a very noble thing to do for a living as a profession, investigative journalism. So I was all fired up, and off I went. And I ended up at San Jose State in the journalism program. And my intent was to become a reporter and an investigative reporter. And a couple of things happened. One is, I was a little late to that game because a lot of people were turned on to journalism suddenly, and the market was being flooded with hopeful reporters. But that was one consideration. Then I took as an elective class a PR course taught by Dennis Wilcox, who is also a Page Society member. And to be honest, I thought my view of the PR people these are my future opponents. I didn't understand what this field was, and I thought I would sit through this one elective course with my arms folded and with a mixture of disdain and pity for these people. But it was 1982 at this point, and I was assigned, through the course, through the semester, to follow and report on the Tylenol case, which was unfolding at that very year at that time. And what I was astonished to find, as was everybody, so famous now, was the decision made by J&J to voluntarily withdraw Tylenol. And of course, they weren't compelled to do so, they weren't required to do so. And I was so impressed by that I looked more deeply into this thing called public relations to find out you could get a major in it and you could get a job in it. So all of these things came together in 82, I guess, and it caused me to change my major from editorial journalism to public relations because of these things. So that's what I got my degree in. It's actually in public relations from the School of Journalism and Mass Communications at San Jose State. I took an internship as required by Wilcox at IBM, and I had no idea that you could, they needed communications people in corporations, and it turns out IBM has, hundreds and hundreds of them, even more so then. And based on that internship at IBM, I was offered a job and a position full-time, and so I started off technically as an intern in 1983 or something, and I became a regular employee of the company in 1984.